The night it happened, the air already felt off, like the world was tilted slightly wrong. We were at her friend's housewarming party, the kind of event filled with fake smiles, clinking glasses, and people pretending their lives were more perfect than they really were. I'd been uneasy since we arrived, not because of the crowd, but because of him. The guy she always insisted was just a friend. The guy she laughed with too easily. The guy whose eyes lingered too long. She always brushed off my concerns with that gentle, patronizing tone she used when she wanted me to feel stupid. But that night, the truth started bleeding through the cracks. It began with a joke, one of those inside ones they shared, the kind couples tell each other, not friends. His hand touched her back a second too long. His smile at her was too warm. I watched them closely, analyzing every gesture like a man who realizes he's been blind for months. Then she leaned in and whispered to me, "Don't make a scene, he acts different when he drinks." That's when my stomach twisted. Why would a friend acting different matter to her? Why was she protecting him? Why was I the one being told to keep calm? The next moment was the one that snapped something inside me. We were standing in the kitchen, and he brushed past her. But it wasn't a normal touch, not a casual bump. His hand slid down her waist, slowly, deliberately, like it had touched her 100 times before and knew exactly where to go. She froze. I froze. For a second, the entire room felt silent. And then she looked at me with this panicked half-smile, like she was begging me not to see what I had already seen. Not to react. Not to ruin her night, whatever that meant. I didn't say a word. Not a single syllable. Instead, I set my drink down slowly, walked out of that house without looking back, and stepped into the cold night. I heard her calling my name as the door closed behind me, but I didn't turn. I couldn't. If I had stayed one more second, something darker, louder, messier would have erupted in that room. So I walked, block after block, street after street, until the night swallowed the noise of the party behind me. By the time I reached home, the silence felt like a sanctuary. I unlocked the door, stepped into the living room we built together, and suddenly it felt like someone else's house. The pictures on the wall, the pillows she bought, the blanket she loved, they all felt foreign. I stood there for a long moment, breathing, grounding myself. And then something cold and clear surged through me, a kind of focus I hadn't felt in months. I grabbed a suitcase. Then another. And I began to pack. Her clothes first. Every dress, every top, every piece she wore on nights she claimed were girls' outings. Clothes that suddenly felt tainted. Perfumes that smelled like lies. Jewelry he might have complimented. I placed everything neatly into the suitcases, not because I cared, but because it felt symbolic, like packing away the version of her I once believed in. The version of us that I thought was real. The quiet zipper closing those bags felt like sealing a coffin. My phone buzzed. Once, then again, then relentlessly. Calls. Texts. Voice notes. Where are you? Please answer. Don't do anything stupid. But I didn't respond. I wanted her to sit in that panic. I wanted her to feel the silence she had forced into our marriage with every secret she thought I would never see. An hour passed before her tone changed. The panic turned into desperation. She sent a long message filled with excuses, explanations, lies wrapped in soft words. She said he was drunk. She said he didn't mean it. She said I misinterpreted. She said she needed to talk. She said I was scaring her. But not once did she say the words that mattered. I didn't cheat. Because she couldn't. That's when I finally picked up my phone, opened our message thread, and took a picture. Not of myself. Not of my face. Not of anything symbolic. Just the suitcases, her suitcases, lined up by the front door. I typed one message, simple and lethal. Home. Packing your things. And I sent it. For 10 seconds, the screen stayed silent. Then the typing bubble appeared, vanished, appeared again. She didn't know what to say. She was choking on a truth she was never prepared to face, that the man she betrayed wasn't weak. He wasn't blind. And he wasn't hers anymore. When her response finally came in, it was only 2 words. Please wait. But I didn't. I locked the door behind me, leaving the suitcases by the entrance like a border marker between our past and her future. I sat on the couch, listening to the ticking clock, waiting for the inevitable sound of her car screeching into the driveway. I imagined her racing inside, crying, begging, trying to rewrite the story she had already destroyed with her own hands. But I felt no hatred, no sadness, just a numb, hollow emptiness that felt like the final stage of grief. When she finally burst through the door, trembling, breathless, mascara streaked across her cheeks, she stopped dead at the sight of the suitcases. In that moment, I watched the truth hit her like a physical blow. Her knees buckled. She reached for me. But I stood up and walked past her. No shouting. No questions. No final speech. Just one quiet sentence as I left. "You can stay with him. Your place isn't here anymore." And the door closed on the life she thought she could play with, ending our story with the simple, unforgiving sound of a lock sliding into place.